Stop. Look at me. Right now, there's a quiet conversation happening in the C-suites of the biggest companies on the planet. A conversation that is being completely ignored by 99% of the crypto community. While everyone else is glued to the latest Bitcoin chart or chasing the next viral memecoin, a seismic shift is underway that could rewrite your financial future. And it's all centered around one thing: Hedera Hashgraph HBAR. Think of it like this. The crypto world is a giant stadium. The mainstream audience is watching the big game, Bitcoin versus the world. They're cheering, they're booing, they're celebrating every touchdown. But the real game, the one that will determine the future of finance, is being played in the corporate luxury boxes, in the backrooms, with the owners and the referees. And the main player they're talking about is HBAR. I know what you're thinking. Can 1,000 HBAR really make me rich? Is this just another crypto pipe dream? I'm not going to give you a simple yes. I'm going to give you the proof. The indisputable, deeply researched and jaw-dropping evidence that shows exactly why 1,000 HBAR could be the most intelligent and most lucrative investment you make this entire bull run. This isn't about hype, it's about seeing the future before it becomes obvious. This is a deep dive into the 4 critical pillars that will launch this sleeping giant. We're talking about a multi-trillion-dollar financial shift, a breakthrough AI partnership with an exclusive tech titan, a powerful ESG mandate that will force adoption, and a tokenomic squeeze that will create a perfect storm. Your life could look very different by the end of this bull run. But only if you can see this signal and understand its true power. To get a competitive edge, you need to hear everything in this video. Do me a favor and smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below telling me if you're holding HBAR. Your participation is a signal to me that you're ready to get serious. Now, let's get into the video. For years, the crypto community has dismissed HBAR as boring corporate crypto. They called it too centralized, too slow to catch on. And for years, while the critics were busy shouting, Hedera was busy building. It was building a system so robust, so compliant, and so scalable that it would be ready for the exact moment the global economy needed a digital upgrade. Today we're going to walk you through the 4 key phases of Hbar's inevitable ascent, and why each one is a foundational pillar for its price. Pillar 1. The institutional floodgate. We'll look at the indisputable proof that legacy finance is not just looking at HBAR, but is actively integrating it into their core operations. This is where the first wave of multi-billion-dollar capital comes from. Pillar 2. The ESG mandate. The world is changing, and companies are being forced to adopt green technologies. I'll reveal why Hedera is the only logical choice for enterprise-level sustainability, and what that means for its future price. Pillar 3. The AI and RWA revolution. We'll reveal the exclusive partnerships that position Hedera Hashgraph HBAR as the undisputed leader in 2 of the most valuable industries in the world: real-world assets and artificial intelligence. Pillar 4. The tokenomic supercharge. We'll uncover the on-chain data, staking mechanisms, and supply shock that, when combined with the first 3 pillars, will create an unstoppable force of price appreciation. By the time we're done, you'll not only know why 1,000 HBAR is a powerful position, but you'll also understand exactly how to navigate this bull run without getting left behind. But to truly appreciate the power of HBAR, you have to understand a seismic shift that's happening right now in the financial world that could be the single biggest catalyst for this entire bull run. And almost no one is talking about it. Let's talk about the plumbing of global finance. For decades, the world's banks, exchanges, and payment systems have been trying to communicate using an outdated, clunky messaging system. It's like trying to send a text message using a fax machine. It's slow, it's expensive, and a nightmare for security. Every day, trillions of dollars move through this ancient infrastructure, and every day, it costs them billions in inefficiencies and fraud. This old way is not just inconvenient, it's a systemic risk. It's a house of cards waiting to fall. But here's the secret: the world is upgrading. It's moving to a new global financial standard called ISO 20022. Think of it as the fiber optic upgrade for the global financial system. It's faster, richer with data, and more efficient. And by late 2025, every major player in the world, from the US Fedwire to SWIFT, will be required to be on this new superhighway. This isn't a choice, it's a global mandate. The problem? Most cryptocurrencies are not compatible with this new system. Their technology is too slow, too expensive, or too unreliable. They're like an old Model T trying to get on a Formula One racetrack. But what if there was one project, designed from the ground up, that wasn't just compatible with this new system, but was perfectly engineered to be its backbone? A project that could handle the volume, the speed, and the security of a multi-trillion-dollar system? A project with fees so low they're almost not even there? That's where Hedera Hashgraph Hbar steps in. Its technology, with near-instant finality and incredibly low predictable fees of less than a penny per transaction, is a perfect fit for the demands of the ISO 20022 standard. This isn't speculation, this is a technical necessity. It's a fact of engineering. And we're already seeing it happen. The news that UK banks like Lloyds Banking Group and Aberdeen Investments used Hedera to settle over $10 billion in tokenized assets is the first domino to fall. They chose Hbar for this groundbreaking, real-world application. Why? Because the system just works. It's fast, it's secure, and it's reliable. This isn't a pilot program. This is the beginning of a new era. They're using Hbar for real-world assets, RWAs, like money market funds, which is a $1 trillion market. And that's not all. The Australian digital dollar, a major stablecoin backed by a powerful payments network, has also selected Hedera as its foundational layer. They are using Hedera's Stablecoin Studio to ensure stability, compliance, and real-time transfers. This isn't a small thing. This is a government-level vote of confidence that other projects can only dream of. But this institutional buy-in is only possible because of a secret weapon that no other crypto can match. A secret weapon that also solves one of the biggest problems in the world right now. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, energy. As a crypto investor, you've heard the headlines. Bitcoin's energy consumption is massive. It uses more electricity than entire countries. This isn't just bad for the environment, it's a political and corporate liability. ESG, environmental, social, and governance, is no longer a buzzword, it's a global mandate for corporations. Companies are under immense pressure to reduce their carbon footprint. Now imagine you're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. You want to embrace distributed ledger technology for its efficiency, but you know that your board, your shareholders, and your customers will crucify you for using a network that's boiling the oceans. You simply can't do it. So you have a choice. You can stick with the old, inefficient, pre-20th century financial systems, or you can find a distributed ledger that meets your strict ESG requirements. But where do you look? Most of the major chains are energy hogs. But what if there was one network that was not just energy efficient, but was actually officially certified as carbon negative? A network that consumes less energy per transaction than a single Visa swipe? A network that is actively removing more carbon from the atmosphere than it produces? This is not a marketing gimmick. This is a strategic advantage that will funnel trillions of dollars into a single ecosystem. This is the second pillar of the Hedera Hashgraph Hbar narrative. It's a carbon-negative network. How? Because of its unique hashgraph consensus algorithm, it doesn't require the massive computational power of a proof-of-work chain. It's a lean, mean, digital machine. It consumes so little energy that it can purchase enough carbon offsets to actually remove more carbon than it creates. This isn't just good for the planet, it's a powerful business tool. As ESG mandates become stricter, companies will flock to the only enterprise-grade public ledger that can meet their sustainability goals. This opens up a whole new category of use cases. We're talking about companies using Hedera to track supply chains, verify carbon credits, and build green energy marketplaces. This is where the long-term, sustainable capital will flow. But this kind of adoption and trust isn't just built on technology, it's built on a foundation of unshakable governance. A foundation so robust that it can withstand the political and regulatory pressures that are crushing other projects. But what if I told you this wasn't even the most exciting part? What if Hbar's technology is about to become the go-to solution for the single most valuable industry on the planet right now, artificial intelligence? The world is obsessed with artificial intelligence. From self-driving cars to medical research, AI is the future. But there's a massive unspoken problem with AI right now: trust. How do you know the data feeding your AI model is real? How do you verify that the computations were done correctly and not tampered with? As AI becomes more and more powerful, the need for verifiable, tamper-proof data becomes a matter of national security. Right now, there is no good solution for this. The data is all kept in centralized, easily hackable databases. This is a multi-billion-dollar problem waiting for a solution. But what if Hbar has already solved it? What if Hedera's technology is about to be deployed by one of the most powerful companies in the world to create a new standard for AI verification? A partnership so significant that it could change the entire future of the internet as we know it. This is the big one. The recent partnership between Hedera, NVIDIA, Accenture, and other major players is a game changer. They are using Hedera's consensus service to create something called Verifiable Compute on NVIDIA's powerful AI chips. Let me break down what that means in ninth-grade crypto terms. Imagine you're using an AI to design a new drug. You need to know that every single computation, every piece of data used to create that drug, is real, verifiable, and has not been altered. Hedera's hashgraph technology acts as a public, tamper-proof ledger that can timestamp and verify every step of that process. It's like giving every piece of AI data a digital fingerprint that can never be faked or erased. This is not a theoretical use case. It's a live, groundbreaking integration. It positions Hedera at the very heart of the AI revolution, providing the trust layer that the industry desperately needs. We're talking about use cases in defense, healthcare, and public administration. This is a multi-trillion-dollar market, and Hbar is now a fundamental part of its infrastructure. This single partnership could bring more utility and transactions to the Hedera Hashgraph Hbar network than almost any other project could ever dream of. And when you combine this with the institutional tsunami, the ESG mandate, and the governance fortress, you get a recipe for something truly special. But there's one more piece of the puzzle. The one thing that will take all of this adoption and turn it into explosive price appreciation. It's a supply shock that's been building for years. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of tokenomics. Hbar has a fixed maximum supply of 50 billion tokens. But here's the crucial detail. A large portion of that supply is still locked up or controlled by the Hedera Governing Council and the Hedera Foundation. They are released on a schedule, which has been a point of concern for some. But what if I told you that this very schedule, combined with the massive utility we just talked about, is about to create the most powerful supply shock in crypto history? Think of it like a bottle of water. Right now, there's a slow, steady trickle of water coming out. But what happens when you suddenly have an entire city trying to drink from that same bottle at the same time? What happens when a multi-billion-dollar financial system, a multi-trillion-dollar AI industry, and countless other use cases are all demanding to use the Hedera network at once? The supply will dry up, and the price will have to go up. It's simple economics. But it gets even better. The network fees paid in Hbar are so small that they act like a microburn mechanism. Every transaction, every tokenized asset, every verifiable compute, they all contribute to a constant small reduction in the circulating supply. But here's the final kicker. This is all about to coincide with a major shift in the Hbar staking model, which will take even more of the available supply off the market. The fourth pillar is the tokenomic rocket fuel. As institutional demand for a carbon-negative compliant network explodes, and as the AI use cases go live, the demand for Hbar will go through the roof. Here's why it's a perfect storm. 1. The fee burn. Every single transaction on the network, no matter how small, requires Hbar. This constant utility creates a low, but consistent deflationary pressure. It's like a leaky faucet, but instead of water, it's draining Hbar from the available supply. 2. The staking dynamic. More and more Hbar is being locked up in staking to secure the network, taking it off the open market. This reduces the available supply, making it even harder for new money to buy in. And 3. The token release schedule. The gradual release of tokens is now being massively outweighed by the explosion of real-world use cases. The demand is far outstripping the new supply entering the market. It's a textbook supply and demand shock. The perfect recipe for a parabolic price move. Now, let's bring it all together and talk about what this means for your 1000 Hbar position. We've established the 4 pillars. The institutional demand, the ESG mandate, the AI revolution, and the tokenomic squeeze. Now, let's talk about the math. The moment you've been waiting for. Remember your 1000 Hbar? Stage 1, the foundation, the institutional inflow. This is already happening. As institutions use Hedera for tokenized assets and payments, and as the ETF narrative gains momentum, the price of Hbar will naturally climb. We're talking about a conservative price of around 75 cents. At that point, your 1000 HBAR is worth $750. A solid, profitable move. Stage 2, the bull run eruption. As the narrative of a low-cost, fast, and ESG-friendly distributed ledger takes hold, and as retail investors catch up to what the institutions are doing, we could see a powerful parabolic move. The Fibonacci extensions from the previous highs and the sheer weight of new capital could easily push HBAR to a valuation of $3. At this point, your 1000 HBAR is worth $3,000. This is where the smart money gets rewarded. Stage 3, the true moonshot, the AI and enterprise integration. But here's the kicker. If the NVIDIA partnership and verifiable compute become the industry standard, and if the global financial system fully embraces Hedera's infrastructure, the utility of this network becomes so immense that it could re-rate the price entirely. We're talking about a valuation that could push HBAR to a stunning $10. At this point, your 1000 HBAR isn't just a portfolio position, it's a serious life-changing sum of $10,000. This isn't a fantasy. It's the logical conclusion of a project that has quietly been building the foundation of a new digital economy while everyone else was distracted. You came here wondering if 1000 HBAR could make you rich. And I hope what you've seen today has changed your perspective from one of doubt to one of deep, data-driven conviction. The signal is clear. The plan is in motion. The only question now is, are you going to act on it? But this is just the beginning. To truly be a crypto master, you must understand the technology under the hood. Why is Hbar's hashgraph algorithm so far ahead of the competition? How is it so much faster, more secure, and more efficient than traditional blockchain?